Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Belinda, and I'm a kinesiologist, yoga teacher, trauma therapist, and forensic healer. And what I want to share with you today in this video is around what is the number one block that is stopping you from receiving what it is that you want in terms of your manifestation goals. So whatever it is you're trying to pull in, whether that's a relationship, whether it's something in your work life space, whether it's an increase in money or wealth creation, whether it's to have better health in your body because you continually keep having ailments and physical things showing up. All of these have got one thing in common, and they can be trapped in your body and disguised as a bunch of things that I'm going to share with you. So when we are in resistance is the opposite to being in flow, being in creativity, and being open and a receptive channel. And it all starts with the energy. So when we're looking outward in the external world and we're wondering why this thing hasn't shown up that we've been constantly thinking about and ruminating about, one thing that I will see in my clients and people I come across in day-to-day life is that if there's resistance, it can actually be disguised as other sorts of things. It can be fear, it can be shame, it can be guilt, it can be unconfidence, it can be insecurity, self-doubt, uncertainty, a whole bunch of things, lack of trust in self. And all of these things relate back to resistance, and the resistance is showing up in things like self-sabotage, limited belief systems. And if someone was to ask you, well, what is blocking you from actually receiving what you truly want and desire, not what you need, because that's a survival program, but what you want and desire, most people would say, well, I don't really know. I just know that this is what I want in my life and it's not showing up. So there's frustration maybe underneath of that, but it's all stemming back to this resistance. And when we're in resistance, we're stopping the flow of energy. In my work as a kinesiologist, I look specifically at where that resistance is for you. So we get really clear and really specific about where the block is. And the blocks will be often in the subconscious, which is where the programs and sometimes the outdated beliefs are actually residing. And then when the conscious mind comes in and tries to, take over and say, this is what I want, this is what I desire in life, but the two don't actually align and match up. So subconscious is all the programs that's running the show and the belief systems that have probably been there, not just from your own, but ones you've brought in from your parents and the people that were around you and influenced your life, and a bunch of other ones that we're just exposed to from being in the world and being a human soul. If they're not congruent then with that conscious thinking mind, so if it's not, free flowing in energy, then we're going to be trapped in this kind of almost stuck in this gridlock. And our openness to receive, which comes actually from the heart space, will be often shut down because the bottom three chakras. Now, I'm not going to make this video about chakras, but they are essentially the energy centers which dictate how we're living our life. And when you have balanced energy centers, and you want to look into energy centers, Joe Dispenza's work is incredible with his connection then to the neural pathways of the brain. But when the energy centers are imbalanced or blocked, or there's not enough flow coming through, or conversely, there's too much coming through, we're going to end up with these kind of distorted patterns of behavior. And it's the behaviors that we're doing, the actions that we're taking daily, realistically, which is governed by the things that we're thinking about, and then how that emotes into the body, how those feelings come about. And if you do not release an accumulation of emotion that's gotten stuck in your body or trapped from events that have caused maybe trauma, maybe events that have even caused you to feel insecure about yourself, comments that people have made, whether you think people are judging you, criticizing you, whether there's guilt and shame attached to something that you may have done 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you've never really been able to reconcile that within your brain, all of these things can stack up and create these distortions of energy through those energy centers. And the three ones that I see have to be completely clear in order for us to be open to manifestation is the base, which is all about your security and who you are and how you see yourself in the world, and how you are in your community and family and belonging, into that sacral energy, which is actually the place where we experience fun and joy and playfulness and creativity. And in the solar plexus is where we really stand our ground, know who we are, put our stamp on the universe, on the earth, and imprint in a way of trusting in ourselves, and being able to also allow money in and see it as being really healthy and balanced, having that beautiful relationship with it. So essentially what we need to do is just basically go in and see where those blocks of energy are stored within the cells of your body, the memory, the cellular memory of the body, in order to clear them and release you from that bondage, from those shackles that may be holding you back from actually receiving what it is that you truly want in life. Because we are an infinite being, we are divine souls, we are here to express ourselves through what it is that is purposeful for us, and it's all unique and different for each individual. And I love seeing people in those creative forces, but the number one block to that is being in resistance, and that resistance is not necessarily something you're consciously aware of. Like I said, it's often sitting in the subconscious mind. So if you need assistance with this is my jam. This is what I love to do with clients, and really dig deep and extract from the depths of their childhood, because often the patterns you're seeing now have actually been traced back to things that were showing up in those first 7 years of your life. And when we can look at what's not working now, I can unpack that and I can reverse engineer it to see potentially where that came in childhood, and then clear it for good, dissolve it so that and eliminate it, so that then you can move forwards and actually be an open, manifesting, magical machine. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm on here as Bella Louise Kinesiology and Yoga, and you can find me at Living Balance Kinesiology, and I do these sessions online as well as in person. So if this is something that you are struggling with, please reach out. I could be the answer for opening up the flow in your life. Much love, and we'll talk soon.